So, may this be a message of self to self, a message of joy, a message of peace, a message of love. I'm just out walking today, and spring is clearly springing into action, and it's so beautiful to see and be in and around and a part of. And I notice it's like there's so much going on. The birds are starting to come out, plants are starting to spring forth. There's just people out and about, doing spring cleaning, and kids out playing, and there's just a lot of excitement in the air, and so much is happening. So much is just alive and unfolding, and it's just this refrain was coming to me. So much is happening, but there's nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do for the mind that is seeking some sort of purpose in the world. It's like so much is happening all on its own. The sun is pouring forth this light energy, and everything is responding in kind according to its nature. The plants, the animals, the people. So much is happening, but there's really nothing to do. The mind will try to propose that if you don't get on board and figure your shit out, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss the boat. Opportunities are gonna pass you by. And what is this but the fear and lack of the unbalanced ego that just can't trust in the unfoldment of its own true nature. And we see that, and it's not a judgment of that. It's just compassion for the fearful mind that, has learned that it's separate, and that if it doesn't hustle and bustle, it's gonna miss out. This is the imbalance that we are working with, the imbalance of fear and of the belief in lack and limitation, the belief that that's what we are, that we are lacking, that we are limited beings. But when we settle into this present moment as it is, with everything springing forth, with everything happening, so much happening, we can feel that you can never lack what you are in truth. And we are all of this. We are everything. We are not separate other than in our own conceptualization of being a body that is separate from the world. This isn't the truth. This is just an idea. So feel into this, that I am all. I am all. I am all. I am the sound of this babbling brook. I'm the intelligence that is aware of it, that's in it, that is expressing as it. I am the sun. I am the sunlight. Sun and the sunlight, which are not separate, nor am I separate of them. I am the moon. Right now the moon is out in the middle of the day. I am the moon, and how the moon dances around the planet and dances around the sun, mixes its little energetic dance of the cosmos up above. It's so joyful to feel into these things, that this is the abundance that I am, that springs forth as a planetary sphere in a solar system, bursting with life. Even beyond the life on planet Earth, everything is life, everything is alive. Everything is bursting with intelligence, with loving presence. And I am that. I am the moon dancing in the sun. I am the planet Earth rotating, and all the other spheres of the solar system speaking their subtle vibrational song to my loving awareness. Of course, the body vehicle is such a sacred opportunity to become, as a material thing, aware of pure spirit, pure light. The mixture of the two is got to be one of the most amazing things you could think of. That we can be both material and spirit together. So matter made conscious of itself through the influx of spirit. That's what we are, hanging in the balance between the mineral intelligence of a planet, which evolved into organisms infused with this greater intelligence, this greater awareness, evolved into the human organism, standing on two legs, reaching up vertically where the energy aligns in a vertical plane and starts to flow into itself, an upward spiral into a prefrontal cortex and a pineal gland that can be intelligently aware of its existence and intelligently aware of the very creative forces that are expressing forth as itself. Aware of awareness. Awareness aware of itself, but also awareness aware of its own expression. It's so subtly aware of its own expression. And that's what the body is. It's an appearance out of consciousness, a flowering out of consciousness, where consciousness can become aware of itself from a unique and new perspective that's never happened before. And it can look back at itself and see itself in a different way than just pure awareness, aware of itself. Call it awareness and conscious presence. So the body is conscious presence, felt through the nervous system by pure awareness, aware of itself, conscious of itself. As we tune into these vibrations, it's almost like a massaging within consciousness, pure awareness, conscious presence, pure awareness, presenting as consciousness, aware of itself. It's so blissful to be right on that dancing edge of awareness and conscious presence. And this is where we can start to see that we are actually our own best friend, our own sacred lover. We have everything within ourselves, and this play of lacking something and needing to get something is just a big smokescreen drama that keeps us dancing in a world of illusion as though we are poor, lacking individual organisms that just can't figure it out, always and forever cycling through have and have not, and aversion and attraction. But what's below that? It's awareness, aware of conscious presence, so full and bursting within itself, bursting with life and abundance, even when there's this longing, this desire, we'll call it, for this outward manifestation. Like, I want a cookie. I really want a freaking cookie right now. But if we can be with that from a deeper place, settle into it, just look at it, say, I know you want a cookie. Right now I'm just going to be so present with this sensation. What's there? It's awareness, aware of the presence of a desire. And if we stay with it, it's very blissful. It's like eating itself. It's feeding on itself, on its own awareness of itself. And wearing away the separate identity, this lack-based desire mechanism. And that's like nourishing. It's like nourishing itself as it digests its own experience of itself. And yeah, we can be our own best friend because we're so present with ourselves. We're present as our own best friend, as our own beloved, always with us, ever present. If we just acknowledge that love is here with me, my beloved is here with me. Whatever symbol is helpful for you in that regard, a symbol of the divine that carries a resonance of purity and as the answer to our longings. And it's as we open to that vibration and we see that it's always available, it just, are we opening to it, or are we still playing the game of lack? Then if we can open to it, then we have this beloved with us at all times, and everything becomes beautiful. Like when you first fall in love, everything is beautiful just for the sake of being with your beloved and seeing a tree, being with your beloved and walking on a trail, being with your beloved and whatever, sitting in a chair. It's great because you're with your most beloved self. So nothing is lacking. And it's really just, are you giving yourself what you want right now, today? It's a choice. It is a choice. And so much is happening, but there's just nothing to do. Even the choice is not a doing. It's basically the choice to stop doing, to just be here, to be so present with yourself, to be so present as your beloved, with your beloved, as awareness with conscious presence. This is what's expressing as everything. There's unique expressions, unique vibrations. That's the unique flavor of consciousness, expressing as the moon, expressing as the sun, expressing as this one, expressing as whoever's listening. There's those unique vibrations. Pure awareness is the one same awareness, aware of all of it. And as it gets to know itself in the unique vibrations, like the moon awake to its own unique expression, the sun as this one, we can feel that like it just is so joyful for that dance to be just allowed to flow as that unique expression, to be able to flow forth in joy, in the joy of being itself. And this is really what we all want. And for sure there's a lot of deconditioning to do, that we've been shut down. Perhaps we've taught ourselves some harsh lessons of needing to fit in, needing to sacrifice in order to get what we want. These are kind of the laws, the ego's laws, that it's based in sacrifice and in the belief that you start as a lacking entity. That's kind of the root of it all. It's like, I am lacking. I am lacking. And then how do I get? That's the whole world. I am lacking, how do I get? And of course, in that game, it's only temporary relief. That's all you can get in that domain. And that domain is in your mind. It's actually created by the intelligence that you are. Wanted to have, as the Course in Miracles calls it, more than everything, which of course is an impossibility. But because you are such a powerful, powerful mind, you can believe something and have the experience of it. And it's still an illusion. It is an illusion. But the mind, in its own belief in the story it told itself, had a fall from grace. It went tumbling down into, and as it tumbled, it kept justifying the tumble in its own belief system. Look at, I'm falling, look at, falling more pain, more suffering. I gotta try harder. I need to sacrifice even more to get back. And now I'm falling even further. And you might be familiar with this vibration. We all are. That's why we're here. We chose this experience. But we chose it in the desire to have a redemption arc. So that's what we're remembering now. That the redemption, it was given right from the get-go, right from the very start. Spirit was not moved by this misthought. And there's part of you that remembers that it never ever left God. It never left the mother. It never left the father. It never could. And still we are in equipoise in our Father's house in heaven. We are there watching this whole thing unfold. And it's just a game of remembering and asking, what am I loyal to now? Am I loyal to love, or am I loyal to fear? And do I think that continuing to fear can get me out of fear? I mean, that's the oldest trick in the book, that my loyalty to fear will save me from fearful outcomes. That's what creates the whole dream of attack and defense. And so there's nothing to get there. There really isn't anything to get there. And that is the freeing realization. But it feels like the breaking of an addiction. For sure. It launches you into a detox. Into a dark night of the soul, some call it. It only has to be so hard as you make it. You know, we can always let ourselves off the hook. That's what we're doing. Letting ourselves off of every hook that we see. Because what we're seeing is we were never on that hook. And the attempt to fight the hook on its own seemingly existent level is to make the hook real and play the game of the ego, struggle and strife. So let's just see the hooks and let them go. And that's right where awareness is aware of conscious presence, the presence of a hook. You can be in the hook, going with it, believing its story, or you can just be watching the hook, and then you're aware of the presence of said hook. And there, bliss and evaporation, digestion of illusion, just flowing, ever flowing, forever flowing into that which doesn't move, but is abundantly alive, is abundantly radiant within itself. This isn't going to make any sense to the mind. Of course, it can't, because the mind is stupid. The mind is an illusion. And what makes sense to the mind is a roller coaster ride that goes nowhere. So, we're getting off. I'm getting off. Let's get off. Get off on consciousness. Get off on God, on our best friend being right with us all the time. And get off the merry-go-round of never ending. He said, she said, who's to blame and what happened, what went wrong, who's to blame. I'm getting off it, man. Yeah, you just gotta see it, and then you see that it has nothing to offer. And this is the grace of a realization of what you truly are. Has never left. Love, perfect love, perfect peace, perfect joy. So, joining in joy, that's it. It's not that everything, we have so much space for the process, so it's not denial, it's not rejection of anything. It's full embrace of everything in love. Love just loves. Love loves everything. So there's no rejection in it, even though it sounds like we're rejecting the ego. The rejection of the ego is just a deep embrace, because the ego is formed out of rejection. Paradoxical but true. So thank you for being here with me. It's such a joy to have the honor and the privilege to speak this message. So lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.